This meeting is being held in accordance with the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act. Notice of this meeting was provided in the annual notice of meetings published in the Union County Local Source and Newark Star Ledger on January 12th. Said notice was posted in the municipal building as required by law. And a copy of this notice was made available through the office of the Borough Clerk. All contracts awarded by mayor and council must comply with the affirmative action requirements of PL 1975C 127. Fire exits are located in the directions I'm indicating. If you are alerted for fire, please move in a calm, orderly manner to the nearest smoke-free exit. Proper notice having been given, the Borough Clerk is directed to include this statement in the minutes of the meeting. Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Here.
Councilman Johnson.
Present.
Councilman Signorella.
Here.
Councilman Ravina.
Here.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Here.
Councilman Patel.
Here.
Mayor Signorella.
Here.
All present, Mayor.
Andrew, please lead us in the opening prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Eternal God, grant us thy help in all our duties and perplexities. We ask for thy guidance. Give us thy protection in our dangers and sorrows. Grant us thy peace. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There are no communications for consideration this evening. There's one proclamation for consideration this evening. I'd like to wish our Borough Administrator a very happy 32nd birthday. Round of applause for Andrew Casillas. I heard Ruben Shaw is going to sing happy birthday. Ruben, you going to come up? You do this now? Come on, is the public? No, I'm just kidding. Don't. It's fine.
Remember what I said earlier.
There are no meeting minutes for consideration this evening. May I have a motion that bills and payrolls be not read and passed for payment?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to open the public portion on agenda items only?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Like to come up and speak on agenda items only, please do so now. Just remember the air conditioning's broken here, so let's keep it brief if you got anything.
Be gentle.
Yeah, be nice. I'm seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public portion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Reports of departments, we'll just go in order here. Andrew, you have anything?
Yes, Mayor. There's a couple of things. I'm sure I'll miss a few things. We've had a long time since our last meeting. We did get two bits of very good news from the state that I'm sure the governing body will talk about somewhat. So in the fiscal year 24, calendar year 23 budget for the municipality, we were allocated a substantial amount of money for the improvement of Acker Park. Exactly $1.5 million, which will go a long way in helping rehab that park, which is sorely needed. Currently, through our recreation department, we're soliciting input from the public, and then we're going to have a public information session. Director Ranieri could just hit on that during your report. That'd be great. The other bit of good news is we did receive some restored funding through the energy receipts tax, which has been talked about quite a deal in this body for the last couple of years. An additional $75 million was allocated across the state. That translates, in terms of this fiscal year budget, another between $50,000 and $60,000 for the Borough of Roselle Park. We won't be able to realize that money because of some things of a technical nature until next year, but it's good news for the governing body and the borough going forward. We have a bunch of capital projects that are kicking off in early August, in addition to the sidewalk project, which will hopefully be starting next week. We've been in contact with the contractor pretty much every other day, staying on top of them to get them started in the downtown. So in the interest of brevity, I'll answer any questions in lieu of going on.
So we don't need to readopt our budget?
No,
Okay, got it.
can't.
Got it. Okay, cool. Any questions for Andrew? No? Seeing none. Rich, you want to come up?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So, like I do every month, this is the report for July 1st, 2023. So through the end of June, for the month of June, we had 173 permits issued. Total revenue for the 6 months total is $598,541. So that we are already above anticipated revenue levels for the year. So the rest of the year, we'll let the CFO handle all the surplus revenue and see what he does with it. Sewer connection fees year-to-date, $4,005. COA development fees, $435,100. UCC violations were 8. On the property maintenance side, we had 17 court dispositions with fines through the end of June of $20,369. 29 violations were issued, 9 court summonses were issued. I did have a question that was posed to me in reference to 250 West Westfield Avenue through an email. 250 West Westfield Avenue will be receiving their full CO most likely next week. They have a couple of outstanding items on the engineering side. It appears those will be completed. In addition, we did receive if you remember or recall, we did receive a legal opinion from our redevelopment council in reference to the restaurant use. The restaurant use is part and parcel of the permitted uses within the redevelopment plan. So it is not a condition at this point based upon the determination by our council. So that will be receiving its full CO most likely next week. I have to do, and I'm going to do the inspection myself on that actually. Otherwise, if anybody has any questions, let's feel free to ask.
No, I think that's it, Rich. Thank you very much.
I got one.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I'm good.
Mayor, I noticed the other day, Fresca. Thank you.
The old Fresca Pizzeria on Fayette and Westfield Ave had a for lease sign for the last, I don't know, 6 months or so. It's next to Well Done?
Yes, yes, yes.
Is there a proposed tenant there?
We've had a couple of inquiries. One was an Asian restaurant, basically restaurant uses.
Good,
At this
okay.
point, because it's designed that way.
Mhm.
But nobody's really come in with a zoning application.
Okay.
So if they, obviously, it's a permitted use, in addition to a pre-existing non-conforming use. So obviously, that would be an approved use. And they
Yeah, I
could-
just noticed the sign was down maybe a few days ago.
Yeah.
So everything's clean and clear at the storefront.
Yeah, the owner of the property did reach out to me, I think it was 2 days ago. I do owe him a phone call.
Okay, good. Sounds like good news. Thank you.
Ruben.
Thank you, Mayor. Should I sing first?
No.
Good evening, everybody.
No.
On July 1st, for our annual Independence Day celebration, we had about more than 3,000 people celebrating with us with the fireworks. Everyone enjoyed the food trucks, games, inflatables, and live music by the Purple Shadows. The event was not possible without our gold sponsors, the County of Union, Breakwater, and also gold sponsors, Neglia Engineering, JCT Solution, Coilers Engineering, and Suburban Disposal. Thank you also to Grand Marshal Victor Fuso, Mayor Signorello, council members, Mr. Casillas for attending the event, and also DPW, Roselle Park Police Department, Fire Department, and the Board of Education for their support. Our third annual community cool down has been a great success. Thank you, Fire Department, PBA Local 27, Mayor Signorello, Councilman Jay Rubina, and Council President Joe Signorello Jr. for your presence at these events. Last cool down event is next Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Our first summer night open mic at the gazebo is also well attended and supported by the residents. Thank you again, Councilwoman Rosanna Lyons, Lance Music, and 31 talented Roselle Park residents for participating in this event. The next event is on Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. I'd like to report that the Casano Center is currently closed for renovation during the month of July. However, all scheduled programs and activities have been relocated to the Youth Center, except for the Union County Nutrition Program. Sadly, the Grab and Go program has been discontinued by the county. However, seniors can still have their meals delivered to their home by calling Union County at 908 486-5100. If the construction continues into August, all activities scheduled for that month will be canceled. This is because the youth center needs to prepare for the programs that are set to begin in September. I'd like to thank Youth Center Director John Neri for his support and cooperation. I'm also happy to report that MVC Mobilint has assisted more than 200 residents with their registration, real ID, state ID, permits, and more. The next visit is on August 15th from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Registration for this event opens on August 16th on our social media platforms. And that concludes my report, Mayor.
Thank you, Ruben. Any questions for Ruben?
Ruben, I just want to correct you real quick. The fireworks were on July 5th because of the downpour we had on July 1st.
Thank you, Andrew, for
And
the
that,
reminder.
and that was my call, so for
Yeah.
everyone out there.
Got it, yep. Just wanted to move past that one. You know how you cringe at Mayor Signorello stuff sometimes, Andrew? That was, oof.
You always got to get one back. Every
That
once in a
was
while, you
good.
get one back.
Oh. Oof, all right. Thanks, Ruben. Great job. Kevin, come up. You don't even need to know what that's about.
Evening, everyone. Thanks for having me. So the main project that we're currently working on, as you know, is the storm sewer project. We're continuing to look through that. We're currently looking at some profile options. That's just basically the slope of the pipe as you go down Galloping Hill Road and then ultimately down on Route 28 all the way to the Elizabeth River. There is one area that we do have a concern with right now. It's between Chilton and Cherry, where the grades kind of dive down, and then between those two streets, it's kind of like a hill, kind of picks up pretty quickly and dives back down. So right now, we're kind of looking at that, whether or not a pump station or a lift station may be required. I do have hope, though, that it won't be, based on some information I'm looking at from Elizabeth and their systems, because they currently have a overflow system that takes a similar path through that area. So that's something we're looking at right now, hopefully to get a better answer in the next couple of weeks. But I do need to reach out to the Elizabeth engineer and just try to get some of that information on that. The Gordon Street Bridge, initially I think the completion date was supposed to be out by the end of July. I reached out to the contractor and spoke to him on some of the delays they had was due to the electric service, PSE&G, but they are working and they are anticipated to complete by September, by the end of September. So I will follow up with them. I know one question they had was just the changing of Cobra headlights or the overhead light systems up there. They took out, I believe, 6 and are putting back 4. That's one thing I'm trying to confirm right now with them. I'm gonna get a set of their plans and just see, because it will be a change in costs for the borough, because you do pay a flat rate fee for your light. So once I confirm that, I'll let you know what that change is gonna be, but it should be in your favor.
Okay.
And then also we had a pre-con meeting with Elizabethtown Gas. They're gonna start their next project on East Colfax and East Lincoln. That is scheduled to start with main work on August 7th, and that'll last through September 8th. And then after that, they're gonna do all the services, which will continue all the way to the beginning of January. And they have sent out notices the 12th, and they're gonna send out another round of notices tomorrow, yeah, 21st.
Good.
Anybody has any questions?
Just when is I don't think we've ever done anything this scale. Do you guys start preheating the oven with the iBank, or is that something that we do on our side, or when would be the timing that we would start going to them? Because that's the most likely funding source for this,
Yeah,
right?
probably in the next couple of months, once we get kind of a better plan of the route of the pipe, the slope of it, and kind of how we're gonna get to our end point, and we start talking with the Army Corps of Engineers and the DEP to make sure they're all on board. That's, I think, when we'll start talking to the iBank, because then we can refine our costs a little bit better at that point.
Okay, understood. Got it.
You did say, so the bridge, you're saying will be done probably at the end of September?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the contractor said beginning of September, and he said maybe mid-September. I'm anticipating end of September.
And you're talking about the dusted dawn lighting that used to be on the old bridge. The
Yes.
new bridge has no lighting built into the bridge, are you saying?
It does have lighting. They took out the old lights and they're gonna
Right.
put in new LED Cobra headlights to the
Right.
new bridge. That's one thing I'm just trying to confirm, what lights are gonna be the borough of Roselle Park, the borough of Roselle, and what the overall change is, because they are removing old ones and they're putting in new ones, but I believe it'll be less because they're LED, so the lighting spreads better.
Oh, so the lighting is still going to be supplied by PSE&G, not the DOT? It's not going to be built in?
No, it won't be built in with DOT, it would be through your.
Yeah,
you
our
guys-
bill, right, yeah.
Through your bill.
I'm disappointed they didn't put 2 or 3 right in the bridge, but,
I believe there is one on the bridge, and I
Okay.
think there's one on either side at the low end, right, with Route
Okay.
28 and then First Street on the other side.
thank you.
I'll get updated information on exact locations and let you know.
Any other questions? Cool. Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it, man. Yep. Kenneth Blum Jr.
Thank you, Mayor. Just on tonight's agenda, we have some grants that we got in after the budget was adopted, and also Resolution 2020-23 is to extend the grace period for the third quarter tax bills. So the due date will still be August 1st. We finally just got the state to release the budget numbers to the county, and our rate was just struck, so we are working to get those bills out within the next week to 2 weeks, and then this will extend the due date. We have to give them 25 days by law, but the due date still remains as August 1st. The grace period will be extended from the August 10th to August 31st. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thanks, Ken. Any questions for Ken? Looks like Steve's not here. Chief Farina, you want to come up?
Yeah, Mayor, just so you know, Chief Thompson did let me know that he was conflicted. He had a job assignment to do today, so he could not make it.
Oh, good. Thanks for keeping our fire chief busy.
No worries. The ex-chief, Fire Chief Giordino from Kenilworth passed away. So they're having the wake at Master Peters. So he's over there helping out with the support, crossing people over there, making sure everybody's safe.
Understood.
Happy birthday again. I know I said it before, but just want to give you a shout out. Live TV here.
Stay on script.
I'm trying. I previously submitted my report for June. If anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. Additional to the report, I wanted to talk about 2 things with employees within the police department. One being I had a productive meeting with Mrs. Goyce, the new superintendent of the school district. She was very nice, very receptive. We kicked it off very well. We talked about the security in the schools. With that said, they were looking to enhance and budgeted for security in the middle school as well as the high school. So with that said, I've moved forward, tried to acquire some applicants to take the Class 2 special or the Special 2 officers to work in those schools as well. So I'm looking to do 4 officers in total. They'll be Class 2s. Andrew could specify the rate of what hours and monies that they would be appropriated, but
We're not paying for it, right? Board of Ed?
so it's budgeted through the Board of Ed.
Okay, Andrew doesn't need to specify
And
that.
nothing.
As long as you guys are paying for it, we're good.
Well, we pay and they reimburse us.
That's fine.
So
As
just
long as you
better-
guys are good for the check
We
afterwards.
supplemented a lot at the high school previously with our officers, but it looks like we're gonna be able to complement both schools without any hiccups, so I'm excited about that.
Good.
And then we also went into that policeapp.com for the applicants for the police department. We've got 26 applicants on file right now. We've got about 18 interviews started next week, Wednesday and Thursday. So hopefully have some applicants to push towards the mayor and council for some approvals pretty soon. So, and get our full complement back up to our 34 guys.
We're 2
Guys
short
and
right-
girls.
2 short right now?
We're 2 short right now.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So hopefully after next week, we'll have some stuff pushed forward.
Cool.
We're looking forward to that.
Did you guys ever end up ordering those thingies that I wanted for the no parking from here to?
We have 25 of them sitting in the garage right now.
Okay, cool.
They were delivered last week.
Cool.
Whenever you want to sit, we'll make some locations that you guys want to specify and roll them out there and see how it goes.
Okay. Yeah. No. So it's you actually started the trend. They're basically how do you describe them?
So we were trying to get the white tall cones. They're plastic cones. They're tall. They're 30-pound weighted bottoms, and it says no parking anytime on it. And you could put it, the corners that we might be having some trouble.
It's Westfield Avenue is my biggest concern. So I know Jay's been championing this. You were doing it on the other side, but Westfield Ave is, I think we have some pretty serious pedestrian safety issues there broadly, but my biggest concern is, and I understand why people do it, especially with Uber, you have a lot of like pizza places and restaurants where people temporarily park in the corner with the yellow striping, but even when you have the yellow striping, people just blow it off. So in really broad strokes, what I'd like to see, and we could map it out, but I would just start putting them on along Westfield Avenue, you know, where those corner stripings are, so people just don't even have a chance to park there. Because, like, I feel bad for Valentino's, but, like, when you're crossing there and there's somebody parked, it's hard for the driver to see you coming on, and it's hard for you to see out into Route 28, so.
Yeah, we'll definitely get them out there, and then just to piggyback off of that, the radar trailers are both put together.
Yep.
Just waiting to put them on the insurance, which should be another day or so, and get them rolled out to those locations that we spoke about. Some of the council members that had specific locations already set up, and then glad to grab some more from you.
Yep. Oh, I have one more actually fresh off the oven. Sorry, this is ticky-tack, but if I don't say it now, I'm going to forget about it. We had another accident, Sheridan and Lincoln, that I got some inbound on. This is the first time somebody's reached out. So, by the way, same person commended me. I guess I'm giving away who the person is. But they work with the Arrive program, and they once again iterated how great and how happy they are to have Roselle Park as part of the Arrive program. Nothing but glowing reviews about you and Danny and the department, so well done.
Spoke to Danny Malisi as well.
Yeah, okay, there you go. All right, so you're on top of it. But the other thing is, so I think there's a general, and I described it's a county highway, right? So I don't know if we could ask the county union to take a look, but it's around that curve around Sheridan. Joe P, back me up here. It's that curve around Sheridan where people get hairy.
Right in the middle.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's because I said, look, we're not doing speed bumps there. It's a county highway. We can't do speed bumps there. But I don't know if there's any sort of maybe like a mirror, or I have no idea. Maybe it's something we just ask the county if they could take a look at, but it seems to be a safety issue around that corner over there. So.
Sure. And I know Andrew spearheaded some modifications in that four-way intersection as well, with more yellow curbing setback and try to eliminate some of the parking close to the corners.
Yeah.
We were still in talks with the residents over there about, you know, flashing stop signs and that type of thing, but it definitely is definitely a work in progress.
Yeah.
But
I think
the area you're referencing is further toward Galloping Hill Road, right? You're talking about the bend, right?
Yeah.
So not the two intersections. So the two right.
You're not talking about Sheridan.
No, I'm talking about
On the bend.
on the bend for Lincoln.
But you're talking about the intersection of
Lincoln
Sheridan
and
and
Woodland,
Lincoln.
roughly.
Same intersection.
A little bit forward.
It's
But it's-
further east of the intersections.
Okay.
We can go over it on Monday.
Take a look.
You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know
Vaguely.
the issue, but I know where the area you're talking about.
Got it. Okay, cool.
But out of the most recent accidents that happened to Sheridan and Lincoln, close to that intersection,
That's the-
all been stop sign violations. They're all on video, and it's northbound and southbound.
Yeah. So maybe the problem's actually happened before the bend even.
Everybody's been cited.
Okay, got it. Okay, cool. Thank you, Chief. Any other questions? No? Seeing nobody? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work. Paulie.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Borough Representatives, and residents of Roselle Park. I'm going to start off with our July 4th rainstorm, just to clarify some misconceptions that I've heard over the last several weeks. On July 4th, we had severe rainstorm come through the area. The storm brought several inches of rain in a short period of time. The areas adjacent to the culvert, especially running from the Walnut Basin down through the east side of town, and eventually ends up in Roselle over by McDonald's, had some areas of minor to severe flooding. I was out there during the storm along with our business administrator, Andrew Casais, and the police chief, Freno, to assess what was going on. Rest assured that the flooding that was caused was primarily because of the amount of rain that came in a short period of time. It was not due to a lack of maintenance in the culvert. There was some speculations that what caused the flooding, but it was strictly because of the amount of volume of rain in that short period of time. Sanitary sewers is really nothing to report this month, other than the fact that the Sherman area, the 600 block of Sherman area was paved. That sewer repair job that was done last month was paved this month from curb to curb, and the contractor there actually did a very nice job. Lawn and ground maintenance, early this month and it was evident we were behind on trying to keep up with the 30-plus locations. In the last week, we've made some really, really good progress, and we're almost caught up. Where we're lacking is actually the larger basins, but most of the borough properties, especially the borough buildings and parks, are actually starting to look a lot better. Potholes, weather permitting, staff permitting, I'd like to get them out there tomorrow, but I just realized I might have 2 guys out tomorrow, so I may be pushing that to early next week. Aldine, the work to resurface the area, the swing area with mulch, should be completed next week, based on the conversation I had with the contractor. We removed the rubber surface because it was basically shredding, and it could no longer be maintained. We've made a decision to install a concrete curb around that area, and the concrete curb will be or is level with the grass, so it's not a step up onto that area. But the reason for the curbing is to
Contain the mulch.
Yeah, contain the mulch, and it's going to be once it's done, it'll be similar to the sensory park, except that the sensory park has a wood curb.
Why are we doing concrete?
I'm sorry.
Why are we doing concrete?
There were some difficulties with, it would have been a little more difficult to do with the wood because there's an elevation change, and they're able to mold and form the concrete a little bit better.
Okay. My only concern is we just got 1.5 for Acker, but, Aldine's in my crosshairs to overhaul in the next 3 years. It feels like, throwaway work potentially for wood scares me less than throwaway work for concrete. Is it a big cost difference?
Not really.
Okay.
So the only reason.
That's fine. Got it.
I was out there with the contractor and Paul. It was a negligible difference in cost for something that would have lasted longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. Got it.
And that concludes my monthly report.
Okay. Any questions?
No, but I want to say thank you for Aldine Park, and thank you for taking care of Woodside Gardens between Colfax and Woodside.
Welcome.
To mention the report, you'd probably be gone by then.
So Paul, I concur with the culvert from, some old people in the room, the Roosin Field to right, Joe P., the Roosin Field so that's the field behind, Grant Ave? Charles Street down.
Union Road.
Yeah. So there is weeds or vegetation there, but that's not stopping the flow. I've been in it. I went down in it the last 2 weeks. I mean, we do have, I forgot to tell you 3 times I talked this week, there's a folding chair behind the theater, a green folding chair. Some guy in the street said to me, hey, there's a chair, it's a folding chair, so it's folds up, it's flat. If you think about it tomorrow, it's in the driveway.
It was 4 inches of rain in 45 minutes.
Yeah. So, look, will it flow a tad better? No, but you'd have to go in there weekly to weed whack those weeds. They're just coming up, it's wet, and so on and so forth. I've known this culvert for 50 years, but been going down and looking at it for the last 3 years. It looks good. It's the best it's probably been. There's no blockages anywhere from, like I said, Grant Ave, to behind Mavis. Down the road, I've talked to Andrew that when Westfield Ave is done, it would be nicer to where we can get closer, by the billboards, and hopefully Meridian we can get closer because all those reeds grow and you can't get down there. I mean, it's like a jungle over there by Firestone and Mavis. Mavis.
The opposite side
Mavis.
does need. Yeah, across the street.
Yeah.
That area of Meridia and Mavis does need to be maintained.
Somehow or another, we could, get it, that we could walk up to it and go down there more often. It would be great down the road. So we see if we can work with Meridian. But other than that, thank you. And like I said, it rains, it happens.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Oh,
Yeah, I have some. Just to follow up, do you know when they're gonna be able to, sorry. All right, there you go. Do you know when, we'll be able to put a lock on that fence over there by the culvert in on Union Road and a no trespassing sign? I mean,
Yeah, I
it's
can
pretty
work-
simple. It
yeah, I
shouldn't
can work
take
on that.
too hard. Yeah, when you get a chance, can we make that happen?
Yep.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
cool. Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.
Coach Ranieri?
Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank Mayor Signorello and Town Council for giving me the opportunity to provide a brief update. The goal of the Roselle Park Recreation Department is to meet the recreational needs of our community. As part of our department's effort to meet these needs and expand community services, our department provides a wide range of programs. I would first like to congratulate Mayor and Council, Rupin, the DPW, the RPPD, and the RPFD, and everyone else who contributed to the July 4th fireworks celebration. It was an amazing event. Membership and recreation. We currently have over 500 recreational members. Homework Club and Aftercare is currently on summer break. Will resume September 7th. Registration will open August 1st. Please view our Recreation Department's calendar, Borough of Roselle Park, click Calendars, click Recreation Department. The ASYC has recently hosted or is planning to host the following events: Recreation Committee meetings, diversity and inclusion meetings, public affairs and community event meetings, PTA meetings, diversity and inclusion events, the DMV events. We also are accommodating the Casano Center's programming due to their construction. The Recreation Department is offering the following summer programmings: middle school, high school, and adult fitness, middle school and high school basketball, middle school and high school volleyball, flag football, conditioning, and girls soccer. Please register at rosellepark.net, at recreation, click rec desk. We recently collaborated with Mayor Signorello and Business Administrator Casayas to begin the process of gathering data on ideas and concerns about the Acker Park renovation project. The community survey currently has over 180 responses of feedback from our community. The survey can be found online, the Borough and Recreation Facebook pages. In addition, the survey was emailed to all Roselle Park School District families and recreation members. And lastly, you are invited to participate in an open public forum on Tuesday, August 1st at 7 p.m. in Borough Chambers to discuss in person the Acker Park renovation project. As always, you can contact the Recreation Department at recreation@rosellepark.net with any questions or concerns. This completes our July Recreation Department update. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Mr. Ranieri, can you just repeat that date for the Acker Park? I didn't get that. Thank you.
Sure. The open public forum is Tuesday, August 1st at 7 p.m. in Borough Chambers.
Thank you very much.
Cool.
Yep.
Looking tan, man.
Thank you.
All right, any questions?
I just want to say thank you so much. John actually allowed me to go into the summer program and just ask the kids to come out for the open mic. So I appreciate that and thank you.
And yeah, congratulations. It's well attended.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great initiative.
Cool. All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, everyone.
Yep.
Have a good night.
Yep. Okay, may I have a motion to accept the reports of departments as submitted?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Andrew, please read ordinance number 2731 by title.
Yes, Mayor, ordinance 2731 is an ordinance for second reading and public hearing, an ordinance amending Chapter 10, Section 4, subsection 4.1 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Recreation Fees Enumerated.
May I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance number 2731?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody like to come up and speak on this ordinance? Seeing no one, may I have a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 2731?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 2731?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Ravina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor, the ordinance is adopted.
Andrew, please read ordinance number 2732 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2732 is an ordinance for second reading and public hearing, an ordinance amending Chapter 16 entitled Building and Construction, Section 1, subsection 1.3 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Fees.
May I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance number 2732?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody like to come up and speak on this ordinance? I'm seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 2732?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 2732?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Robina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is adopted.
Andrew, please read ordinance number 2733 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2733 is an ordinance for second reading and public hearing, an ordinance amending Chapter 13, Article 1, Section 1, subsection 1.6 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park, currently reserved to be newly entitled Public Information Officer.
May I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance number 2733?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Would anybody like to come up and speak on this ordinance? I'm seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 2733?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 2733?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Robina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is adopted.
Excuse me. Andrew, please read ordinance number 2734 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2734 is an ordinance for second reading and public hearing, an ordinance amending ordinance number 2710, fixing the salary ranges of non-union employees and officials at the Borough of Roselle Park in the County of Union, State of New Jersey.
May I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance number 2734?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Oh, no, sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Would anybody like to come up and speak on this ordinance? What were we on? 2734? Yep, okay. May I have a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 2734?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 2734?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Robina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is adopted.
Andrew, please read ordinance number 2735 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2735 is an ordinance for second reading and public hearing, an ordinance amending Chapter 4 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Licensing and Business Regulations, establishing a new Section 11 to be entitled Cannabis Business Licensing.
May I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance number 2735?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody like to come up and speak on this? Me? Nice, thanks. May I have a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 2735?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 2735?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Robina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
No.
Councilman Patel.
No.
4 votes in the affirmative, 2 votes in the negative. The ordinance is adopted, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, Andrew, please read ordinance number 2736 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2736 is an ordinance for introduction, an ordinance amending Chapter 30, Section 30-2 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Tax Established to clarify the establishment of a 2% tax on the receipts of each sale by a cannabis retailer.
May I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance number 2736?
sorry. It's for introduction.
What did I, so what?
probably just gave you the wrong script.
Yeah, it's for introduction, so, oh, no, what?
Yeah, it's not making a motion to approve.
Yeah, ordinance, what did I say?
Yeah, you said we should open.
I'm sorry, I'm in autopilot here. May I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2736 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as the August 2023 regular meeting date?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? I just want to, feel free to comment how you guys like. There are no, please keep me honest, Andrew and Carol, there are no other major changes to the marijuana ordinance that we've, any topics we've litigated in terms of location, zoning, how many, yada, yada, yada. This would be an amendment to, and it's kind of it's a minor, but it's an important detail. So we're allowed to establish an excise tax of 2%, which is one of the benefits of this, right? So whoever opens up, we can get 2% extra tax on this. This would be adding that, which should have been in the first draft, but was
Correct.
not, so.
So this is an amendment to section 30-2, which is the actual taxation part of the chapter 30. Chapter 30, section 1 establishes the purpose of the taxation ordinance, which stipulates that we will tax retailers. The taxation part, the enactment part, omitted the detail that we're taxing retailers. So this just clarifies that we are implementing the maximum 2% tax on retail establishments. It just clarifies the intent of the originally adopted ordinance.
Cool. Any discussion?
And then just a quick thing, is this 2% like the maximum amount?
2% is statewide maximum amount, yeah.
Now, if the state in the future were to augment that.
We would have to update the.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, as a matter of fact, at the inception of this, one of the detractions from the way the state was doing it is like, other states, like they go up to 5%, like Oregon, I think, goes up to 5%. League of Municipalities argued for 5%, and we landed at 2%. I could understand some of the logic is, part of the idea is to make sure that people are consuming and purchasing marijuana in, established locations versus off the street. You tax it too much, does it price it out, and you still end up going, to your local dealer. So I would love to get more, but 2% is the maximum allowable right now. Okay. Any further discussion? Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Robina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
No.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
5 votes in the affirmative, 1 in the negative. The ordinance is introduced, Mayor.
Mr. Clerk, please read ordinance number 2737 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2737 is an ordinance for introduction, ordinance amending Chapter 40 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park so as to permit short-term rentals as a permitted use within the B2 Central Business and B3 Arterial Business Zone districts.
May I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2737 for introduction, refer the ordinance to the Municipal Land Use Board for review, and recommend pursuant of statute, and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as the August 2023 regular meeting date?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? I just want to, sorry, this is new to you guys, and I've been very busy, so I haven't been able to, I'm sure most of you have done your reading, but I think it's worth noting for the public and for council, just the idea behind this. And Rich can I'm going to lean on you a little bit more for the details on this. So there are a lot of towns in New Jersey that are grappling with whether or not to allow, let's just call them Airbnbs, right? Short-term rentals. Short-term rentals, Airbnbs, are not currently an expressly permitted use in the borough of Roselle Park. We are leaning on a lot of best practices. I think we just cribbed a lot of what we thought was best from other towns on this potentially. And in order to help regulate it, because it's really hard to just stamp out completely, and there's also, candidly, there's benefits to it too, right? So, the pluses of getting an Airbnb is in town is everybody's worried about school kids, apartments being overbooked, so on and so forth. Airbnbs allow for use of apartments, right? Without any of that impact to the school system, right? So these are pretty expensive short-term rentals. We're seeing a bit of an influx of them, I would say, because of our proximity to the Trinitas. We see a lot of folks, especially short-term nurses that are here for a while, want an apartment for a bit. Also folks, proximity to the EWR, want a short-term rental. Maybe they're a pilot or they're work on an airplane, they're here for a bit, they're not here for a bit. I think we get a lot of that. This would allow it in the B2 district, B3 district, and central business district, not allow it in residential zones, right? Which is really where you want to curtail it, right? Because you don't want your neighbor running a hotel, basically. Allow for it in the more busy areas. And then we also get a fee for it, right? So we're able to monitor this more proactively. So if somebody wants to do this, rather than us just doing guesswork, we'll have a name associated with it. So if there's any issues, we have emergency contacts, zoning, construction department, police department, all have contacts versus just doing it all willy-nilly right now. So, it's something that is just an inevitable fact, right? They're going to exist. This is just a way to be able to track it and honestly, gain revenue from it, So I don't know, Rich, if there's anything you want to add.
You hit it on the head. The next piece of this will be a registration process. So the next ordinance will be, that Andrew and I will work on once this is adopted, will be a registration process, a fee associated with the registration process, and an inspection process for these units. Currently, we have had, I'm going to say the last year and a half to 2 years, probably been in court about 24 times because this is not a permitted use anywhere in the borough currently. And obviously, going to court is time-consuming. You have to build the case. Those are familiar with the process. So it does take time, and when the mayor and I spoke about it, and we spoke about it quite in length, I think, a couple of times.
Too much.
We were trying to focus, we were trying to mirror what some of the other communities were doing, but protecting our residential zones. That was really the key. And that recommendation, it was very important that the mayor and I discussed. So, protecting those 1 and 2 family zones specifically. We didn't want them permitted in those zones. Because currently it isn't permitted anywhere. Like I said, it is a permissive ordinance, our zoning ordinance, being that it's not specifically stated as a permitted use, it is not permitted, the short-term rentals being. So we focused on the B2 zone because of the proximity to mass transportation and the railroad, obviously, and the train into New York. And also the proximity to Newark Airport. Because many of the ones that we have had that we obviously got removed or had removed were people that actually were going to Newark Airport. And just like the mayor alluded, pilots, flight attendants, some nurses we've had that were working, so.
Okay.
Through the chair, I have a question. So I have talked to Judy Mack over the years. This is a positive for the borough. So the only question I have is, so typically right now, if we release an apartment, we do a CO for an apartment starting, let's say, August 1st, we would do an inspection.
Change in tenancy, yes.
How are we going to do this for, if it's a monthly thing, a weekly thing? Are we going to do this inspection?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if you look at the communities that allow this, specifically, I'm thinking about the shore communities specifically.
Okay.
I'm very familiar with Cape May City.
Okay.
They do it all the time.
But Rich, you'd be talking about that's per registration. It wouldn't be per. If you have somebody staying for 2 weeks, you're going to do another CO.
Well, that's what we need to discuss.
Yeah.
Do we conduct inspections when there's a tenancy changeover?
Yeah, that's
Because
not gonna
many of the communities do that, or do we do an annual
Yeah.
or semi-annual?
So I just
But
to be-
that's a work product we're going to have to
Yeah,
discuss.
so just to be clear for the governing body, what this ordinance is, this is a zoning ordinance that would generally permit it. So similar to what we did with cannabis is, we introduced the permissiveness of the zoning before we went into the licensing component, right? So the licensing component was approved tonight, the cannabis portions, the zoning portions of that were approved at the last meeting, so that we can understand if there's buy-in legislatively to the matter. So now that, if it's affirmatively considered tonight, if the ordinance is introduced by the governing body, we would move forward with drafting licensing provisions. We wouldn't want to waste the time creating a licensing process without ensuring that you were all bought into the process as the policymakers. So that conversation about, is it going to be a, quarterly change of tenancy type of inspection or an annual inspection and what the fees are associated, that's kind of the next part that we'll deal with over the next month if it's approved tonight for introduction.
I just have one request. If it's approved tonight, can we do similarly like the cannabis, can we have maps for the second voting? So this way it'll make it easier for
where it is
residents to see.
Yeah.
And for us.
Where the short-term rentals would be.
Yeah.
And let's do that all the time.
Yeah.
Whenever we start talking about zoning maps, we need maps. I need visuals.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. That's all mine, bro.
No, I think I'm not sure you want to go there every 14 days to do inspection, but some kind of,
Yeah, I agree. There should be some regularity to it. If it's quarterly, every other day, or every other half-year basis, whatever it is. I just think it's going to be difficult, right? Because some of these days could be a month. I don't know.
right, but it's a positive, path we're going down, and you guys will work out the small part. Thank you.
Okay.
I do have a question though, regarding these short-term rentals. I see, is it exclusive to dwelling, or, because I'm looking at permitted uses, including retail. So like pop-up shops, would that be included? Because I see
It's a
on
dwelling
accessory-
unit.
Just dwelling.
Dwelling unit.
So anything that was formerly, say, a restaurant, I see on.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, they can't take a storefront and make it a
That's what I was-
Airbnb. No.
Okay.
No.
Residential units are not a permitted use in the B2 zone anyway on the first floor.
Okay.
Just as a matter of zoning.
Okay. Any further discussion, questions? Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Urbina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
Okay. Andrew, please read ordinance number 2738 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2738 is an ordinance for introduction, an ordinance amending Chapter 40 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park so as to reinstate and otherwise permit certain residential uses within the ROB Residence Office Building Zone District.
I know what this one is. May I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2738 for introduction, refer the ordinance to the Municipal Land Use Board for review and recommendations pursuant to statute, and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as the August 2023 regular meeting date?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? I think I remember what this is, and you guys can keep me honest here. So at some point, we changed the ROB district. I don't know if it was just a fat finger or whatever, but I think ROB stands for residential over business. Is that correct?
Residence, what is it? Residence Office Building.
Office buildings, that's what it is,
Residence
yeah,
and
yeah,
office.
yeah. And we took out residential from that?
Yeah, so this was an ordinance, I believe it was 2021, at the end of 2021. The governing body, through, recommendations of the administrative staff, amended the zoning code so as to eliminate linkages that were contradictory and actually not really indicative of what the borough wanted out of its residential and business zones. So that ordinance did two things. One was intentional, one was intentional. The intentional part was to stipulate exactly what we want in the zones as they're defined in the code. The second thing we did, or the governing body and the borough did accidentally, was we eliminated any residential component in the ROB zone, which is problematic because it is a residential and a business zone. So what that did was obviously didn't eliminate the residences in the ROB zone, but it created a substantial amount of non-conforming uses, which was unintentional. So what this does is it reinstates the ROB into the form that it was prior, allowing for certain residences within the residence office building district, which is in conformity with the master plan. This is a recommendation both of our, I think it's safe to say, planner, our construction official, our zoning officer, and myself, because it is quite problematic to have that many non-conforming uses in one of our zones.
And just, I know we don't have a map, but just ROB for a refresher. ROB is in 3 places in the town. It's a little bit over by the First Ward on Westfield Avenue. It's over by the Fourth Ward, over by Church of the Assumption, and a little bit over by the train station. So, just a refresher. Any questions? Discussion? Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Urbina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
Okay. Andrew, please read ordinance number 2739 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2739 is an ordinance for introduction and a bond ordinance amending Section 3A3 of Bond Ordinance Number 2300, adopted June 3rd, 2010, in order to revise the description of the improvements referred to therein.
May I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2739 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as the August 2023 regular meeting date?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Andrew, we have a slew of these. Can you just give a brief before I say something incorrect?
So there's three of the similar ordinances. 39, 40, and 41 are all very similar in nature. This amends 3 bond ordinances that authorize predominantly improvements and improvements to our DPW facility. Unfortunately, for a myriad of reasons, we haven't been able to complete that project, though we intend to complete it. There is a new priority in terms of a borough facility. We need to do some immediate renovations to the Firehouse Number 3, the Faytute Firehouse, in order to accommodate a new apparatus, which was, we planned this out and we understood that that apparatus would not fit in that facility. However, the funding mechanism, in lieu of passing another bond ordinance and incurring additional debt, we would be amending the descriptions of these bond ordinances and using those funds to supplement that project. So it's a way for us to use money that are already on the books toward a new project.
So just in really simple terms, over the years, we've accumulated $3.5 million to build a new DPW building. We've struggled to use that money to build a new DPW building because every time we go out to bid, it's too expensive. So rather than putzing around with that money doing nothing, the money is still going to go towards work on municipal buildings. So the idea would be to use what we have already to fix the firehouses, or fix the firehouse, bring it up to snuff, use it through that, and then next year look at the true cost to do the DPW building, take the remainder of that money as a starting base for the DPW building, and somewhat start from scratch with the DPW building. So.
And the extension of the firehouse, it's rear, front?
We don't know yet. It'll be up to council, right? So we have two concepts. We're not voting on it tonight to award the contract. So I think they have two sketches for us. One would be add a bay to the side. The other would be, make it closer, add 3 feet to the front more or less. Right. So I don't really have a view.
It's not like putting a second floor or third
No.
For residents in the area that have
There's,
reached
yeah,
out to me.
so correct. So that's very well said. So it would be, the two options that are on the table that are roughly the same price projection would be to add a fourth bay to the side of the existing building and add like a little walkway through there. Or we could just extend the building frontwards, and then they get some more storage space, and also the fire trucks all fit nice and snug in there. That would be the way it would work out. But nobody's voting on, we'll send the draft plans to council. You guys pick which one you like better. Okay? Yep. Any further questions? All right, Andrew, call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Ravina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor, the ordinance is introduced.
Andrew, please read ordinance number 2740 by title.
Yes, Mayor, ordinance 2740 is an ordinance for the introduction and a bond ordinance amending section 3A6 of bond ordinance number 2386, adopted July 18th, 2013, in order to revise the description of the improvements referred to therein.
May I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2740 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as the August 2023 regular meeting date?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Ravina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor, the ordinance is introduced.
Andrew, please read ordinance number 2741 by title.
Yes, Mayor, ordinance 2741 is an ordinance for introduction, a bond ordinance amending section 3A3 of bond ordinance number 2443, adopted July 30th, 2015, in order to revise the description of the improvements referred to therein.
May I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2741 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as the August 2023 regular meeting date?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Ravina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor, the ordinance is introduced.
All matters listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the governing body so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda as part of the general orders. Andrew, please read all resolutions by title.
Yes, Mayor. Resolution 18723 is authorizing a $12,000 increase to the professional services contract with the Aubrey Group LLC as grant writer for the year 2023, reflecting a revised contract amount not to exceed $24,000. Resolution 18823 is accepting the resignation of Nicholas R. Saraceno from the Roselle Park Fire Department. Resolution 18923 is promoting college counselor Jenna E. Peter Paul to the position of adult counselor with a teaching certificate within the Roselle Park Recreation Department. Resolution 19023 is approving the insertion of a National Opioid Settlement Fund grant as a special item of revenue in the 2023 municipal budget in the amount of $2,171.85. Resolution 19123 is approving the insertion of a click it or ticket grant as a special item of revenue in the 2023 municipal budget in the amount of $7,000. Resolution 19223 is approving the insertion of a Clean Communities Program grant as a special item of revenue in the 2023 municipal budget in the amount of $25,248.60. Resolution 19323 is authorizing renewal of alcoholic beverage control license number 2015-33-913, Oldie Dowlings LLC, doing business as Dowlings Irish Pub and Restaurant for the 2023-2024 licensing term. Resolution 19423 is requesting a study be conducted by the New Jersey Department of Transportation regarding the use of a system of high-intensity activated crosswalk beacons in and around the intersection of Dalton Street and New Jersey Route 28, commonly known as East Westfield Avenue, and expressing support for the installation of the same. Resolution 19523 is authorizing the treasurer to issue one check in the amount of $880 to the sewer utility account in connection with the erroneous payment made by a property owner to property taxes for Block 802, Lot 3 of the municipal tax map, commonly known as 515 Walnut Street, instead of the sewer utility bill for Block 1012, Lot 10 of the municipal tax map, commonly known as 331 Pershing Avenue. Resolution 19623 is authorizing the tax collector to issue a reduction and/or refund on one sewer utility bill for Block 1006, Lot 1 of the municipal tax map, commonly known as 365 East Clay Avenue, in the amount of $145 due to a water utility discrepancy. Resolution 19723 is authorizing the treasurer to issue one check in the amount of $185 to the sewer utility account in connection with an erroneous payment made by a property owner to property taxes for Block 127, Lot 21, commonly known as 500 Willow Avenue, instead of the sewer utility bill for the same property. Resolution 19823 is authorizing the tax collector to issue reductions and/or refunds in the total amount of $3,604.41 on one property as ordered by the tax court of the state of New Jersey. Resolution 19923 is granting permission to RPSC Inc. to operate a social affair permit granted by the New Jersey Division of Alcoholic Beverage Control in Municipal Parking Lot Number 1 as part of the Borough of Roselle Park's 2023 Arts Festival. Resolution 223 is granting permission to Roselle Park Youth Football to operate a social affair permit granted by the New Jersey Division of Alcoholic Beverage Control in Michael J. Morey Park as part of the Borough of Roselle Park's 2023 Oktoberfest celebration. Resolution 20123 is authorizing change order number 1 to Cefelli & Son General Contracting, Inc. for the project improvements to Union Road and Maplewood Avenue, fiscal year 2022 NJDOT municipal aid in the amount of a $3,363.19 decrease to reflect a total contract amount of $526,966.46 after all change orders. Resolution 20223 is authorizing closeout of the contract with Cefelli & Son General Contracting, Inc. for the project improvements to Union Road and Maplewood Avenue, fiscal year 2022 NJDOT municipal aid. Resolution 20323 is authorizing the submission of Form 1B, supporting an application for grant term number 2 of the New Jersey Department of Human Services / Division of Mental Health and Addiction Services Youth Leadership Grant extending September 1st, 2023 through September 30th, 2025 in support of the Roselle Park Municipal Alliance Program. Resolution 20423 is accepting the retirement of Franklin Edwards. Resolution 20523 is accepting the retirement of Judith Edwards. Resolution 20623 is authorizing the Borough Clerk to auction unclaimed vehicles. Resolution 20723 is authorizing an employment agreement with Donna L. Corrigan as Deputy Municipal Clerk. Resolution 20823 is revising the schedule of 2023 regular meeting dates of Mayor and Council. Resolution 20923 is approving the insertion of a bulletproof vest partnership grant as a special item of revenue in the 2023 municipal budget in the amount of $3,029.94. Resolution 21023 is authorizing and directing the Roselle Park Municipal Land Use Board to investigate whether all or a portion of the property identified as Block 608, lots 1.01, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24.01 of the municipal tax map of the Borough of Roselle Park, commonly known as 107 Filbert Street, 110 Chestnut Street, 1 West Westfield Avenue, 5 to 9 West Westfield Avenue, 11 to 13 West Westfield Avenue, 15 West Westfield Avenue, 21 West Westfield Avenue, 33 West Westfield Avenue, 37 through 39 West Westfield Avenue, along with all streets and rights-of-way pertinent thereto, constitute a condemnation redevelopment area pursuant to the local redevelopment housing law NJSA 48:12A-1 et sec. Resolution 211-23 is awarding a professional services contract to McManaman, Scotland and Bauman LLC for redevelopment council services associated with a condemnation redevelopment study of Block 608, lots 1.01, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.01 of the municipal tax map of the Borough of Roselle Park, commonly known as 107 Filbert Street, 110 Chestnut Street, 1 West Westfield Avenue, 5 to 9 West Westfield Avenue, 11 to 13 West Westfield Avenue, 15 West Westfield Avenue, 21 West Westfield Avenue, 33 West Westfield Avenue, and 37 to 39 West Westfield Avenue, along with all streets and rights-of-way appurtenant thereto, in an amount not to exceed $6,500. Resolution 21223 is awarding a professional services contract to consulting and municipal engineer CME Associates for professional planning services associated with a condemnation redevelopment study of Block 608, Lot 1.01, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24.01 of the municipal tax map of the Borough of Roselle Park, commonly known as 107 Filbert Street, 110 Chestnut Street, 1 West Westfield Avenue, 5 to 9 West Westfield Avenue, 11 to 13 West Westfield Avenue, 15 West Westfield Avenue, 21 West Westfield Avenue, 33 West Westfield Avenue, and 37 to 39 West Westfield Avenue, along with all streets and rights-of-ways appurtenant thereto, in an amount not to exceed $12,860.75. Resolution 21323 is appointing Ivanova M. Ferdinand to the positions of alternate deputy municipal clerk and registrar of vital statistics. Resolution 21423 is authorizing a reverse auction to purchase of main load electrical supply for public use via an online auction website. Resolution 21523 is awarding a contract to DLS Contracting, Inc. for the project NJDOT fiscal year 2023 improvements to Myrtle Avenue and Dalton Street in an amount not to exceed $502,567.50. Resolution 21623 is authorizing a reverse auction to purchase authoring a reverse auction and purchase of natural gas supply for public use via an online auction website. Resolution 21723 is authorizing the mayor and the borough clerk to execute a memorandum of understanding with Carpenters Local 715, Millwrights Local 715 for the hire of temporary employees if, when, and where needed within the sole discretion of the borough. Resolution 21823 is awarding a professional services contract with Stag Laza LLC for legal counsel services related to the National AFFF PFAS litigation. Resolution 21923 is appointing Rupen Shah to the position of Public Information Officer. Resolution 22023 is authorizing the extension of grace period for payment of third quarter property taxes for the year 2023 until August 31st, 2023. Resolution 22123 is authorizing the tax collector to issue reductions and/or refunds in the total amount of $9,244.93 on 2 properties as authorized by the Union County Tax Board. Resolution 22223 is appointing Frank J. Genova as part-time covering fire subcode inspector. Resolution 22323 is authorizing the treasurer to issue 3 checks totaling $84,899.31 payable to 3 lien holders on 3 properties and 3 checks totaling $103,000 from the tax collector's premium account. And Resolution 22423 is appointing Leonard R. Dolan III as a part-time covering fire subcode inspector.
God bless.
Just in case you all know when I don't answer your emails what I'm doing.
Do any members wish to have any items removed from the consent agenda?
That's what I'd like.
I'm going to remove 210-23. Anybody else want anything else?
Can we do 208-23 also?
Sure.
Yeah, can I do 194, 23, and 215, 23?
194. And what was the other one?
215.
215. Okay. May I have a motion to approve the resolutions remaining on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. May I have a motion to adopt resolution 194-23?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
I just wanted to thank Andrew personally. Originally, when I first set out to advocate for a crosswalk, I advocated for the Hawk system. Thank God I keep all my letters for proof. This was the original system that I wanted, and now I'm going to start my advocacy full-fledged hard because the rapid blinking flashlights, they do work. However, on a 4-lane, it's difficult for vehicles speeding down a highway to come to an abrupt stop. And to me, many residents sent me photos and videos of motorists still not in compliance. And I've seen in Union Township, they have the rapid beacon, and it works wonderfully because it's 2 lanes, not a 4-lane highway. So the Hawk system is the perfect system for the highway because there's no confusion. Some residents look at blinking lights and guests, and pedestrians look at blinking light as hurry up and go before the red light come, and some look at it as slow down. The Hawk system says stop. When the resident comes up, they press the button, it turns into a red light, the end. So thank you very much for submitting this. I also submitted a letter to NJDOT, and we're working on this, resident, so thank you. And my goal is to eventually advocate for the whole Westville Ave to have the Hawk system.
Bro, we should have just done that here.
Yeah, I'm not done. It's not just going to only be there. It's going to be the whole Westville Ave when I'm finished.
Start budgeting for it, Ken. All right. Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorella.
Yes.
Councilman Ravina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The resolution is adopted.
May I have a motion to adopt resolution 208-23?
So move.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, what's like the new date for this?
So this would revise the schedule, if I could, Mayor. This will revise the schedule. It will change the August 17th meeting date that was established in January to the following Thursday, which would be August 24th.
Thank you.
Same time, same place.
Same channel. Call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorella.
Yes.
Councilman Ravina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The resolution is adopted.
Cool. May I have a motion to adopt resolution 210-23?
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? So I just want to let folks know it's a pretty momentous day for me as mayor, and I think a pretty momentous day for Roselle Park. We, I think, are making strides to rehab and redevelop our downtown. Sometimes we need a little bit more of a push. We are going to target, so candidly, this is sort of, if redevelopment phase 1 has already happened, redevelopment phase 2, A and B, I think are on the way, right? Now, obviously, people, we want to make sure that we do this in a smart way, in an intelligent way, but part of that starts with doing a study as to what would be appropriate where. But a big part of that starts with making sure that we're holding property owners, landlords accountable. We have seen a lot of inaction, and quite frankly, I think a blighted area. And in this area, which is right around the movie theater, right, people can take a look. We've had a movie theater that is just in disrepair, no longer there. The buildings there are in disrepair and in rough shape. This would allow a study for condemnation, which basically allows and gives us greater flexibility and greater muscles to compel folks to get moving on their building or allow somebody else to purchase it and rehabilitate it or redevelop it. I have no idea what this might look like or what it can look like. That's why we have planners to decide what it can and should look like. But I think it's an important step in the right direction to make sure that as we redevelop our downtown, we're holding property owners accountable, but also giving potential investors, and hopefully some of them are in-town investors, the ability to acquire land, rehabilitate land, fix up land. And this is right in line with our master plan, although our master plan is dated. When did we do our last master plan?
2016.
Oh, is it 2016?
2016
Yeah.
was
So
the-
this already in our master plan is identified as a potentially blighted area. It's definitely blighted now. So I'd say this is part 1. The rest of the downtown, I'm going to push for another area need redevelopment study without condemnation, because there's a lot of the downtown that, has some life to it, has some potential to it, but could use some love. But the area here specifically it needs a whole lot of love and potentially an overhaul. So I'm excited for this. I hope everybody's in favor of it. I'm curious to see what comes out of it. But I think this is step one in the next phase of rebuilding the downtown. So I don't know, Rich, do you have anything you wanted to add? I know this actually came from a suggestion from the administration, so I'll throw you right on the bus if anybody doesn't like it.
Throw me under the bus, man. As we've been, progressing in Roselle Park over the last, 8, 9 years on the redevelopment path, this was the next logical step. We have a $140 million project that's taking place across the street. We need to parlay that into additional development, smart development, not ridiculous densities. Start looking at these uses. That particular stretch has been a property maintenance nightmare. There's one particular owner, I can't even get them to paint the building. I mean, they just don't care. They live out of town. They honestly don't care. I know I'm on, public forum here.
No, whatever. No, it's there.
It's disgusting. I walk by it every single day, and it's not fine wine. It's not getting better with age at all. So this is the next logical step in the process. And hopefully we can, foresee a very nice project there, and that's my hope. Not ridiculous densities, not ridiculous number of stories above grade, but just a nice project that's fitting for a downtown. So we have to parlay what's going on at 10 Westfield Avenue into this project. That's my hope.
Any further discussion?
Just a quick thing. Can you just, for public, explain the whole, the lots, from where to where is this gonna happen?
Yep.
It's easier for them.
So it's basically, it is, Westfield Avenue is the furthest towards Roselle boundary. And then it is Chestnut Street and what is it Locust? What's the, no.
Filbert.
Filbert is the two other boundaries. And then it goes to,
Goes one in.
yeah,
One
basically,
property in.
yeah, so it would be where it's the Valley National Bank, right? That's where it stops, and then it cuts across sort of as a rectangle, basically. So those are kind of the blightiest.
Thank you.
So,
Mayor, if I could just add something real quick, because I know that from the public's perspective, usually the logical question when the governing body embarks on something like this is what's going there, and I know you touched on it, but I just want it to be very clear for the public that this is the first step. The first step in the process is determining whether or not the area even qualifies for a redevelopment area, right? So this isn't saying what's going to go there, whether it's going to be retail or commercial or residential or anything.
Hotel, who
It just determines whether or not the legal criteria needed to constitute an area needed redevelopment exists. And that's why, we're hiring planners and attorneys to go through that process, have the public hearing at the land use board, come back to mayor and council with a report. That's what this is. It's not determining what's going to go there. That will be the next step if we get there. I just want to put that on the record.
Well, thank you for addressing that, because that also came up at the municipal land use board meeting regarding the area need of redevelopment, the current study.
there's literally no developer in mind here,
Okay.
as a matter of fact.
Members on the board were concerned, they had mentioned that, and
Yeah.
just wanted to.
Yeah, no, there's, and it's actually, candidly, it's financially a little bit more risky for the borough because, when we've done, I would say the old way, which is not really the way you should do it, is there's an interested developer who, you want to make sure that they have a say in it, and we know that they're going to cover the cost, right, for this redevelopment study. Right now, the borough is bearing all the costs, but the hope is, theoretically, they come back with the study and they say this is appropriate, right? Like it stays 3 stories, whatever they say. Then we can do a whole slew of things. We could even go out to, like we did with, our ill-fated senior housing project. We could do an RFP with it and say, hey, here's the lots, right? Give us your dream for what could be there, and mayor and council could select from that. I would say, and I think Rich will back this up, I think there are a lot of developers that are interested in Roselle Park. I've had some really early discussions with some of the folks who've done some redevelopment in Westfield, some other, larger towns. The interest is definitely there. The awkward thing is, what was nice about some of the redevelopment projects in the past is they've been one big clean plot of land, right? So Sullivan Chevrolet was one big boom. Everybody could buy that, and there's one owner. This one, it's got several owners.
I think it's 7, if I'm not, it's 7 owners of 10 properties.
Yeah. And so it might not even be, could be in the future, fast forward, right? Let's just say somebody buys the Valley National Bank, right? Or whatever it's called now, I forget. Somebody could just say, look, we're just starting with this, right? Because that's all we can acquire right now. The nice thing about condemnation is, it's painful for the potential owners, is we could look at a building and say, no, you've got to move on this, right? It gives us more flexibility to say, look, to make this a nice project, to get the parking that you would need, or to get the amenities that you would need, to get, you know, what we would want to see, it gives us more juice to say, no, you can't sit on your hands on this. You need to come up with a price, and you need to sell because you're a condemnable building.
Okay. Thanks for the explanation.
Yep. Yep.
Mayor, so I concur with, Rich has spoken as a former fire chief, fire official. It is, I use the word ugly area, and knock wood, we have no issues there, but it's a constant, just taking his time and fire department time, just keeping on these homeowners and the business owners to take care of business. And one thing, the culvert runs back there, so can we ever, hopefully, one person and
100%. So
make the culvert bigger, wider? I'm not the specialist.
So to cut you off, Dad, just to real quick, part of the benefit, and Rich and I talked about this during Hurricane Ida, is you could have a situation where somebody comes in, buys the whole block, and says, "Look, we're gonna rehab it. We're gonna do a new movie theater, and we're gonna do residency. Or we're gonna do a couple units up top and restaurants and a movie theater down below." Right? That'd be the dream. Rehab the movie theater. But they would be most likely on the hook for water drainage, whatever else, and we could also, as part of the agreement, say, "Hey, look, in past developments." Some developers, as a concession, has just said, here's a payment to the Borough of Roselle Park, do what you want with it, right? In this situation, whether it's a requirement from the state or a requirement from us, we could say, hey, look, you're rehabbing and widening the culvert, right? And as much as we try to maintain it, it could use a big rehab, so. Is that fair to say?
Just a quick question, since I'm new to the process. Like, when does the public input, like, is there
all throughout?
Okay.
Yeah. So let's just say, so this gets referred to the land use board right now. So public can go to the land use board to talk about it, and everybody who's affected in the area will get noticed, right? So there's a couple different stages, right? So there is the redevelopment plan, which is to say, those are the broad parameters of what the borough would want to see, right? So we could say there that we want to see it be no bigger than a 4-story building, right? And we want to see retail down bottom, and this is the parking ratio we want, right? So that is an ordinance, which takes 2 readings, so the public can come talk at that point. I would say where we've done it in the past, a little bit extra show and tell, right, like we did with Sullivan Chevrolet, is when it comes to the redevelopment. So that's the plan, right? Then you get to a redevelopment agreement, right? So we have a developer, right? Conjohn's development agency, you'd be conflicted out. But theoretically, you're a developer, you come up to us with a plan and say, Mayor, we're going to do whatever, 50 apartments there, and it's going to be restaurants down below and, an arcade. No idea, but whatever, that's the idea. Then we have to come up with a specific agreement with that developer, and in times of key ones, we've done, so first off, you're allowed to come speak about it here at mayor and council meetings during the public, but we've also done a little special show and tell, especially with Sullivan. We did like a workshop with the residents to say, hey, here's what's going here, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah, because I like this specific idea, what we're doing with the survey for the park, so that's a nice initiative.
Yeah, we've done it for Sullivan, and I would say we probably do it again since it's such a visible one, right? And then we also have, we did do topology when I first got elected. What was it called, Andrew? a vision plan for the borough. So it's a little bit dated, but we could always update that. But we have some intel as to what Roselle Park was looking for in their downtown, which we try to use as a baseline as best as we can.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Okay, any further discussion? Good discussion. Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorella.
Yes.
Councilman Urbina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes affirmative, Mayor. The resolution is adopted.
May I have a motion to approve Resolution 215-23?
So move.
Is there any discussion?
Yeah, that's just, I just wanted to, if I may, I just wanted to say thank you again. It's always good to see projects like this starting to come to fruition. I know I've been advocating this for over a year with Councilman Jay Rabina, and I'm just glad that it's come to fruition, so thank you. Appreciate it.
You guys got all new roads in your wards.
Well, I just want to let residents know that sometimes they think projects happen overnight.
No, they don't.
We've been working on this for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, no, and you. I meant to say you too, I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Not only just the mayor, also Junior, I'm sorry.
All right, any further discussion? Call the roll, Andrew.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorella.
Yes.
Councilman Urbina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The resolution is adopted.
Okay, Councilman Signorelli, you want to start us off?
Oh, boy. Yep, I'll try to make it short. Kudos to the borough and Roseanne and Rupin and I'm fumbling here, Mike Knight, up at,
Mike Knight.
at the Gazebo Park. Last week, I just let a 7-year-old girl bring me to tears. It's wonderful. Please try to come out and see the singing and going on. The jokes got a little better last night, so whatever, last night. And maybe by the last night, I might go up and do a couple of jokes. But just a good evening. The July fireworks, nice job by the vendor. The whole event, the people were eating like, whoa, like I was in awe how many people were eating at the vendors on Colfax Ave. Rich, tonight you mentioned a little bit about, Gordon Street Bridge, and that's probably hopefully it's done by October 1st. Me and you briefly talked, hopefully between when the Gordon Street Bridge is open, Fernwood, hopefully they can maybe start getting their sidewalk cleaned up, that folks can go from the Burger King to buy a gallon of paint at Newark Paint. So just that, we want to try to get that area open. The last couple of days, the traffic and construction, but you got to go backwards to go forward. So I hope you can keep an eye on that to the bridge is open and we can get the sidewalks open. Other than that, come to the cool downs. It's been pretty good this year. The temperatures are probably a little warmer than last year. And if you need me, get a hold of me, Joseph J. Signorella at rosepark.net. And have a good one. Thank you.
Thanks, Councilman. Councilman Johnson?
Oh, Council. Oops, sorry. My report is short. First up in my report, our past meetings I attended and support. On June 28th, I attended the Union County Connects venue, which was a great venue in support. On the next attendance, I would like to announce that I attended was the July 4th celebration. Special thanks goes out to Victor Fuzo, who was selected as our 2023 Grand Marshal, and I just wanted to thank him for participating in our flag raising component. And during the 4th of July, that young lady by the name, who was that young lady? Tiffany? Singer? Yeah, the singer. She was just like super amazing. I just couldn't believe it. I can't believe that she had a set of lungs on like that. So on July 8th, I attended also the American Legion Post 60 and Troop 56 Independence Day celebration. and fundraiser. I just wanted to thank all who came out and supported these great community organizations. On July 17th, I attended the municipal land use meeting. There were several discussions and concerns that will, I guess, be sent back to us, Mayor and Council. But I can't wait for that meeting, Mayor. One of the things that were brought up was the elevator concern, and I would like to request and have you to reach out to the developers, if you may. Can we consider 2 elevators? I heard a response saying most people that shop, if they shop and after they come back from shopping on the first floor, the second floor, and the third floor, they just won't use the elevator. But there's other populations that we must consider. We have people with disabilities, we have people with special needs, we have elderly, and quite frankly, if I was shopping around our town that the mayor is so finally creating for 3 or 4 hours, my feet would be tired, and I would catch the elevator if I was going to the second floor.
Just one thing, Greg. Greg, I do think that most of the, I think it's stipulated that our parking is going to be on the ground floor.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about we can't have one elevator for eight decks. I don't know. I mean, I know everyone was talking like it made sense at the meeting, but to me, it just didn't. So I would like if they could add that. Everything else that during that meeting seemed like it went well. It wasn't anything was unreasonable. The diagrams, everything was phenomenal. So that's just my concern in my meeting. If you could reach out to the developers, I would like that because that is going to be an issue for me. Moving along. All in all, excuse me, no, disregard that. Other than that, I would like to extend my sincerest wishes to all residents within the esteemed community, hoping that each of you enjoys a wonderful summer along with your cherished families, and may the season be filled with joy, relaxation, and meaningful moments that foster a sense of unity and happiness among us all. Until then, please remember your voice matters, and as First Ward Council, I will always place the concerns of residents within the borough of Roselle Park first, because local concerns matter. If you need to get in contact with me, please contact me at 908-303-1519, or the best way to contact me is gjohnson@rosellepark.net. And Mayor, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Petrosky?
Oh, thank you, Mayor. First of all, I want to send my condolences out to Fred Hazelhurst's family. Fred was a 1964 graduate of Roselle Park High School. Fred was actually my assistant coach for over 10 years. We coached both his daughters, all-stars and everything. So, you know, and Fred actually was an usher at my wedding. So I send my condolences out to his family. And also Laura Knock, who's a 1976 graduate, which is the same year I graduated. So again, I send my condolences out to both families. June 17th, I attended the Juneteenth celebration from the Diversity Committee. Councilman Johnson, great job with your thing. I know you weren't the chair, but I know you had a big part, but it was very good. June 19th, we were supposed to have a historical meeting, but it was canceled due to illness. Also on June 19th, I had a investigation with the joint sewer. On the 29th, I attended the Meridian, where they had a couple people making ice cream. So it was, you know, the residents seemed to like it. So on July 5th, I should say I liked it too, so like that. July 5th, I attended the fireworks. Again, I thought everything went well. Again, the girl was excellent and sang. And I, you know, again, it was a good turnout. I know I helped give out the water bottles, and we were told to give out 1,700, and don't give any back, right? You know, and
Hey, they all went.
they all went. So we gave out 1,700 that day. Today I attended the joint sewer meeting. You know, it was you know, getting ready for you know, some stock items and everything. So you know, and then we they bought some equipment and everything like that. So also, I'm very, very happy with the Aqua Park. You know, a lot of the residents who have been calling me lately, and so I've been letting them know, and they're very happy about it. So if you need to contact me, you get me at jpetrosky@rosellepark.net, 908-666-7821, and that's my report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Council, Tiffany Narvaez.
There you go, Councilwoman.
Thank you.
No, me too.
No, great job.
We should at least give her a nice. That girl is amazing.
Councilwoman Johnson, Councilwoman Johnson.
Trying to get me.
I'm so sorry, Jasmine. I'm so sorry, Jasmine. Councilwoman Lyons. At least I didn't say councilman.
Good evening, Mayor and council and residents. It's been an amazing month or so. Roselle Park, people are coming out, and it's great to see everybody. The Roselle Park Walking Club is officially, we're like doing over 22 miles a week. Yeah, we're meeting like 7 times, 6 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. and then even on weekends, really on Saturday, not Sunday. But we have established such a great group. I posted on the Roselle Park Forum. I take a picture every single time. So, but it's really awesome because it's a group that we are meeting, and it's unofficial, official. So it's pretty cool. We're connecting on awesome ways. So I really appreciate every person that comes out. And yeah, it's a really good thing in Roselle Park. So tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., if anybody's interested. Also, the Roselle Park, the open mic nights. I just want to thank everybody that it's even possible that we're doing this. Again, it's bringing in Land's Music is just such a blessing in our town. Like, they are teaching these kids and really helping everyone just bring out their talents. Kids are coming from, I think Rupen said, like over 31 people that are signed up. We have comedians, we do have singers, musicians. It's really, really awesome. People are coming out. We also have Bella Ciao Pizza now. It's a wood-fired pizza. I've been blasting it all over online. Come and visit them. They're great people. And again, I just go back to the beginning of the year. I literally said 3 words, and it was community, communication, and connection, and that's what's happening through this year. So I really, really, really love that. So if you have not come out to open mic, please, you're invited. Bring a chair. There were so many people last night. Kids are literally making us cry, right? They are just, the second they open their mouth, it's just a moment of peace and just calm, and we're having a great time. We also sang, Miss Clark actually sang Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody, and she just lit it up, the whole place. It was like really awesome. What else? Okay, so yes, July 6th, I went to Post 60 celebration. That was awesome. Independence Day, Tiffany, give her props. She is amazing. And all the little girls, these girls are like 9 years old, 10 years old, and they're coming out and they're just singing Celine Dion. It's like insane. I actually am going to try to reach out and get maybe some news channels over here by August 2nd. So if you can come even to the last one, we are going to have a band there, the full band from Land's Music. We'll see what we could do. I think really I just want to give props also to the summer program with John Ranieri. I went there the one day, like I had mentioned. There's so many kids there. They're having such a great time. And it's a really great program that we have in Roselle Park. The library's still open, so check that out. And also the Roselle Park app. I keep saying it. If somebody's watching, download it. I was able to even take a picture last night because the garbage was full from the farmer's market. I took a picture and it was done the next day. So it was really cool to be able to do that. And just one last thing. So yesterday, I brought a puzzle to open mic. And this is it, Mayor. You asked if it was a present. So yes, I'm going to give you one. The whole So there's 750 pieces here. And last night, I addressed the crowd, and what I said was, we're all a piece, right? So, but coming together, we make the whole picture. And it was just really awesome because families are coming out. It's every culture. It's young, old. It's everybody in between. And you know what? It's so awesome because we're just having a good time. The crowd is encouraging the people that are stepping out. The voices are being heard, and that's what it's really about. It's not about anything else. So I shared with them, and I said, "You're a piece," and I gave one out. So I wanted to give one to each person here, and really be included. And I'm gonna spread it in Roselle Park. So then, at the end of the year, we're gonna come together and put it to but it's symbolic, okay? We're gonna do it here on the floor. No, but I love this team. I think even if we're not, we all have different things that we are passionate about, but it's really about a team effort. So I'll end with that, and then enjoy the rest of the summer. I'm going to Italy, so I'll be there, and I'll come back. I'll bring you guys something. I don't know, sauce?
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Thank you.
Councilman Patel?
Good evening. I'm happy to announce that the crosswalk project at 240 Meridia Apartment has finally started, and the
Why'd you steal my thunder? Come on, that's the one thing I want to talk
wait,
about.
wait for it. And the crosswalk will be painted in upcoming weeks. I guess this was a gift to Andrew from DOT.
It would have been a gift 2 years ago.
Though I couldn't believe this project took almost 2 years to complete, I'm glad it's finally starting, and thank you, Andrew, for constantly following up with the NJDOT. On Monday, the police chief and I met with a resident on West Clay Avenue who had concerns regarding permit parking and speeding in the area. One car was towed from the location as it didn't have a valid registration or permit to park on the street. The police chief recommended that the residents call the non-emergency number 908-245-2300 to report such incidents. As per speeding issue, the borough recently got 2 new speeding radar machines that will help spread more awareness and help the police mitigate the speeding issue using its data. As per my request, we'll be painting a 25-mile sign on the road on West Clay to, again, spread more awareness, as there is no 25 miles an hour sign on the whole street. Update for the Bridge Street residents: the letter will be mailed out shortly about the changes in the parking regulations, and the work for the removal of old signs and installation of new signs will be taking up in upcoming weeks. As a chairperson of the Rose Park Commerce, I'm thrilled to announce that our local deli, Iorio Deli and Coffee Stop, was voted the best sandwich joint in New Jersey by the members of Jersey Sandwich Joint's Facebook page. And for the month of July, I was honored to nominate Iorio Deli as the business of the month, so be sure to stop by and say hello to Gilda. They're located at 301 West Clay Avenue and are open from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday, and 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturdays. As liaison to the Environmental Commission, the community garden is in full bloom, and the Environmental Commission and its volunteers have been hard at work harvesting organic produce for the community. So far, over 50 pounds of vegetables have been donated to the residents, with more to come. Please follow the commission on social media for more information. If you need to get in contact with me, you can email me at kpatel@rosapark.net. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Rabina?
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Roselle Park.
Starting off, as Board of Health Liaison, just want to let everyone know, July is Disability Pride Month. It celebrates the passage of the Americans with Disabilities Act, a law passed in July 1990 that protects people with disabilities from discrimination. It is an opportunity to honor the history, achievements, experiences, and struggles of the disability community. People with disabilities make up 20% of the U.S. population, and one of the most important ways you can get involved in the disability rights movement is by educating your elected officials about policies that harm and strengthen the quality of life of people with disabilities. Right now, 85% of people with intellectual and developmental disabilities are unemployed. Many of them want to work and have skills to contribute. Among those who are employed, people with intellectual disabilities are working fewer than 13 hours a week on average, and less than 1/5 of them are getting workplace benefits. But research shows that disability inclusion is a proven good business decision. It increases overall productivity, offers a window into an untapped market, and boosts bottom lines. If you're a business owner or hiring manager, please be inclusive and give our folks with disabilities an opportunity. Moving on to infrastructure. As the borough's representative on the county's Transportation Advisory Board, county engineer, and as per our engineer that we heard earlier, they both report that the Gordon Street Bridge is still scheduled for completion by the very end of summer. We're talking optimistically by Labor Day, but more than likely the end of September. And at Monday's Municipal Land Use Board meeting, a study was approved for the area from the left of Los Altos restaurant to the gas station on the corner of Locust and Westfield. Construction of an 8-story parking deck was also approved with conditions including emergency-only egress on Locust, a crash gate on that side, safety barriers on the ground level behind the building, and improved design elements. I'm happy to report Myrtle Avenue in its entirety, over 1,800 feet, will be fully paved curb to curb, including the 500 and 600 blocks and the 400 block in the 4th Ward, along with all of Dalton in the 1st Ward, as Councilman Johnson had mentioned earlier. Councilman Johnson and I have been advocating and working hard to get these streets done for over a year and a half. Thank you, Greg, for being a great partner for Safer Streets, and thank you, Mayor and BA, for your continued support of these vital infrastructure projects. We project Myrtle and Dalton being completed before fall. Last week, I attended a pre-construction meeting regarding the remaining section of West Webster Avenue, including the oval around Aldine and Loretti Parks and Beechwood Avenue. We're engaging our engineer for a traffic study of Valley and West Webster for additional traffic safety measures to improve safety in the area. Also, the area around Aldine Park and school is scheduled for curb-to-curb paving the first week of August, with Beechwood soon after. Regarding DPW, I want to give a big thanks to them for clearing out the 6-foot-tall overgrowth along the old Rawway Valley Railroad between Woodside and West Colfax, and for coordinating the sidewalk repair at Loretti Park by Dee's Hut and repairs by the swings at Aldine Park. On the business front, on June 23rd, I attended, along with Mayor Signorello, Councilwoman Lyons, and Councilman at Large Signorello, the 27th Annual Chamber Legislative Breakfast in Union. It was a great opportunity to network, listen to ongoing initiatives for our small business owners and the community. Among the speakers was Mayor Signorello and County Commissioner Chairman Granados, who discussed mental health initiatives, rental assistance programs, and workforce development initiatives. Anyone seeking information on those programs, please visit ucnj.org. On past events, this month we kicked off our 3rd annual community cool down. Every year it gets bigger and bigger, with more kids and families running through the cool showers. News 12 even came out to cover the event. I'm happy that we've carried on this tradition, and we're working on additional ways to keep RP families cool, and hope to share some exciting news very soon. On that note, our volunteer fire department is always looking for volunteers, paid training, and an opportunity to help your community. If you'd like to learn more about and joining our brave men and women, please reach out to Chief Thompson, his deputies, or anyone in the department. Last one, community cool down, is this Tuesday, July 25th, beginning at 6:30. Join us if you can. Community garden will be on hand, giving away produce to families and people in need. Also want to say great job to Rupin, Police Department, Fire Department, and all the vendors that came to the 4th of July celebration. We handed out water bottles, and I joined members of the Fire Department for the bell ringing, commemorating the original 13 colonies, and I watched the fireworks at Kelly Coffers Memorial Park. And save the date, Tour to Roselle Park, bike clinic, and helmet giveaway will be on Sunday, September 10th. Announcement will come out next month. I had attended earlier in the month the grand opening of K9 Kibbs Dog Training with my colleagues here on the dais. Last, I wanted to offer my condolences to the Kenilworth Fire Department and the family and friends of Chief Lou Giordino, who passed away last week. And I'd like to wish a happy 25th birthday to Andrew Casais. Thank you for all that you do. Yeah, man, you look young. Take it as a compliment, bro. The past couple of months, I've been in contact with a number of residents to assist with concerns ranging from potholes, trees, sidewalks, parks, and code enforcement issues. Thank you for reaching out, and thank you for your patience. Fifth Ward, I'm here for you, 862-236-0019, and jrubine@rosellepark.net. Mayor, thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman. And just by the by, thank you for the partnership with the Greater Union Chamber of Commerce is just, it's continuing to bear lots of fruit. So good work on that one. Keep it honest, Jay. And I just want to state that Andrew does look 32 now, and you all have aged him appropriately. Every single member of this dais has contributed equally to that.
And I'm going to continue.
And maybe some unequally. Mostly Ken. So I just want to say a special shout out to, we are now part of Legislative District 22. Senate President Nick Scuteri, throughout this budget, has been a real asset to the borough of Roselle Park in advocating. I don't think we've ever seen, any direct state aid like we've seen this year. I was actually beating up Andrew. I'm like, dude, you guys are like planning for a new park, and we haven't even figured out how to fund it yet. And we put in a request for money for Acre Park, and we are going to spend that money, and we're going to make a nice, beautiful park, and hopefully something that lasts for a very long time. So thank you, Senate President. Thank you also to our Assembly, Assemblywoman Carter and Kennedy, who also represent us now. Just want to say, for the record, Councilman Patel, it was the borough administrator and the mayor consistently chasing on the Route 28 cross. Just to add on that, I'm actually getting annoyed because I chase them like crazy. So you're actually getting my Italian going.
And Mayor, don't forget your board that also asks for that too, the municipal land.
Yeah, whatever. Whoever wants it, sure. I'm the one that had to yell at DOT very, very often. Andrew was good cop. I was bad. Well, maybe you played bad cop at some point too.
Look, there are so many other things that DOT, we could just,
Yeah.
we could play whatever cop at whatever time. There's so many
beg,
other issues.
beg
we're
them to
waiting
pay
for.
attention, just drive down. But it is nice, and thank you for the entire council for advocating. I also want to thank NJ Transit. We're further away from getting a new train station than I would like. I think the realistic groundbreaking date's probably going to be 2025 when we get a new train station. But again, thank you to our legislators for getting us a big cash infusion to get that paid for. Our building is just dilapidated, but I do commend NJ Transit for coming to spruce it up a bit, putting some new paint on it, clearly demarking which areas are blocked off right now, and being a little bit more communicative. So thank you to NJ Transit there. One thing that I want to mention for council, I've been speaking a lot with the new superintendent of the schools, Patricia Goyce, who's been a really, really good asset and very, very willing to work with the borough on a couple of things. There's a couple of things we're cooking. There's some land that we might, try to convey to the borough to add a new soccer field, which is very, very much in the inception state, but something that might be nice. Additionally, looking to partner with them on a couple other projects, including finding some new space for them for pre-K, which is very exciting if we can offer some more space for pre-K, or potentially their building services. So a couple good things down the pipeline with the Board of Education, and that is all hopefully coming to fruition soon. So as soon as that gets a little bit more crystallized, I'll share it with council, but some exciting stuff down there. Other than that, Mayor Sig at rosellepark.net is the best way to get me, and we will wrap up this. Actually, wasn't even that bad of a meeting. For one meeting in the month, 2 hours, not bad. May I have a motion to open the public portion on any subject matter?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Maybe a mission to come up and speak on any subject matter, may I do so?
All right, Christian Maker, B36, Woodside Gardens. Good evening, everyone. Happy summer. I want to thank Councilman Johnson for his advocacy on pedestrian safety with Resolution 194-23. I actually wanted to mention an incident that occurred on my way here tonight. While I was attempting to cross the highway, the car in the first lane allowed me to cross while the vehicle in the second lane continued to drive. The vehicles in the second lane continued to drive and didn't stop. If I had not been paying attention, I would have been hit. Just wanted to say I'm strongly supporting the Hawkeye system and hoping to get them throughout the borough.
Well, don't worry, I'm retired, so they're gonna see a different G. Johnson. Everyone, so even Trent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Good evening, everybody. Bill Crossett, 412 Galloping Hill Road. First, I wanted to thank everybody involved in getting that brush pile cleaned up. It was done rather quickly. And there was a conversation earlier about Airbnb, and having been in hotel management for over 45 years, I'm not a fan of Airbnbs. They are not governed really by much of anything other than their desire to be a hotel room wannabe. And given that, if that's an Airbnb, hotel room wannabe, are they subject to collecting the same taxes and fees that hotel rooms are required to collect? They collect a state tax, which Ken, I believe, is 6.75%. They collect a state occupancy fee of 5%, which also goes to the state. And if the local municipality passes the ordinance, they collect a 3% local occupancy fee, which goes straight to the municipalities. So if these Airbnbs are in fact hotel room wannabes and are going to be required to collect all those fees if we don't currently have the 3% local occupancy ordinance, maybe we should look at it just in case a hotel comes to town and all that kind of stuff. And Andrew, happy birthday.
So just two things. So we would collect fees from Airbnbs theoretically from a registration fee is the idea.
Well, if they're subject to the state fees and
Yep.
state taxes,
Yep.
and if, in addition to what Rich collects,
Yep.
if they rent it for $100, then we can collect
Fees on that.
3% off.
Yeah. And then the other thing is the one area need of development study that both Councilman Rabina and Johnson were talking about. We're looking at hopefully a person who wants to build, I think, our first hotels in
Oh,
Roselle Park,
cool.
which would be nice. Yeah.
I'll manage it.
There we are. I'll put in a word for you, brother. Yeah.
There's some franchises I can recommend and some I may not.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Anybody else? Okay. May I have a motion to close the public portion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have is there anything else? May I have a motion to, there's no executive, yep. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good meeting, everybody. Thank you.